Since Chaotic Compilation just released, I decided what better way to celebrate than watching all of the devlogs. So enjoy the compilation. How hard is it to make a multiplayer FPS game? That is the question I set out to answer a week ago. I decided to challenge myself by creating a multiplayer FPS game that can challenge the likes of Call of Duty and CSGO. They will stand no chance against me. This is the best. Obviously, I'm kidding. These games have teams behind them that contain enough people to like overthrow a government or something, man. But hey, I'll still try. So the game is gonna be a free-for-all where you just run around killing random people. And for the art style, I kind of wanted a cross between Crunker and Tabs. So basic colors and blocky models. So I modeled this blocky red guy and gave him bones. I made a copy of him and brutally slashed off every part of his body until only his arms are left. Great, now we have two models. The full guy and his ripped off arms. Now, why do we do this? It's called lying. We want to trick the player into thinking these arms are them. But in reality, there are two models. One for other players viewing you, and one for your viewing. Or in basic terms, player have arms, but arms not real. I also made the mistake of modeling this gun. And you'll see later, you'll see why. Now comes the choice every game developer has to make. What game engine am I gonna use? Unreal Engine. I've used this engine for the longest, and we don't talk about what's happening over in Unity. They're kind of digging their own grave with it. So Unreal Engine has templates to help kickstart your game, whether it's a third-person game or a first-person game. For this project, we're going to be using the first-person template. Now, you would think a game engine responsible for the biggest games in history would have a great template, right? What the hell? Apparently it doesn't, but we still have some things we can work with, like the character controller. And just the character controller, cause all the other stuff is trash. Now, a red boy is just T-posing, which we need to fix. So I started off by making a simple pistol holding animation for a guy. Now, I suck at animating. Just look at this. Oh, this is really bad, oh my. So I decided to utilize procedural animation. Now, what are procedural animations? Well, they're just animations, but procedural. Well, not really. It uses IK to make real-time animations using code. So basically, this helps speed up the process of my game, because I can add things like recoil, movement, and aiming, and customize them to fit the current weapon I'm using. Alright, well, I haven't actually tested this game in multiplayer yet, so we'll just add this multiplayer node in. Oh shit. So I don't want to bore you with the details. Let's just say I got multiplayer working, for now, but that means we can test it. And since I'm Hacker Man level programmer, this should work just fine. Oh no. So right now a player is just T-posing and gliding his way across the floor. And normally human beings can't do that. So I added a free animation pack from the marketplace and made an animation blueprint. I gave him some movement animations and reused the animations for the first person guy to the third person guy. And now he looks like a normal human being. But now, let's get to the most important part of an FPS game. Guns. Right now, if we shoot our guns, it just kind of plays a recoil animation and doesn't really do anything. So we gotta make the guns shoot. How do we do that? We shoot a ray cast. Or, in Unreal Engine's case, a line trace. This basically simulates a bullet by shooting a line out of the player's camera. And if the line hits something, we apply damage to it. And to add more depth to the gunplay, I added bullet spread and recoil. This just adds another level of skill to the game, so it doesn't feel bland. I also made this muzzle flash particle effect in Niagara. What was that? You don't know what Niagara is? It's basically Unreal's particle system. And yep, you know what time it is. Unreal's particle system is a great system for making particles. Right now, our core mechanics are almost done. We have shooting, we have damage, we have gunplay, but we're lacking one more crucial feature. The best, the most important, the greatest thing that has ever graced this game dev space. Ragdolls. Now, ragdolls are important because they can make a game way better than it is. But since my game is probably gonna be bad, I'm gonna need them. It's honestly really hard to mess up ragdolls in Unreal Engine, so we'll just add this here, put that there, and it works perfectly fine. Yeah, this game's really starting to come together. I guess now we just need more weapons and maybe remodel this one. Wait a minute. So this entire time, I had 3 perfectly fine gun models that I could have used instead of modeling my own. This stupid model took me 2 hours! How do I forget about— guys, special thanks to Past Me for modeling this AK Glock and shotgun, and special thanks to Present Me for forgetting about their existence. I didn't know Alzheimer's would be catching up to me this quickly. Now, adding new weapons is actually pretty easy. That's because the system I made is pretty modular. So let me tell you what the weapons do. The AK, high damage but high recoil. Pistol, low damage but low recoil. Also, it increases your movement speed. And the shotgun is high damage but low range. Also, you can launch yourself with it. You can switch between these 3 items via the number keys. I also added this fancy UI that shows your weapons. I added sound effects like gun firing and footsteps, and then started work on the map. So for the map, I wanted it to be easy to make, but also unique. What I wanted to make was a ruined ancient temple. I first made this grass texture and then slapped it onto this chunk floating in the sky. I then modeled a few broken walls and placed them all over the map to provide cover for players. I then modeled this weird structure. I'm not really sure what to call it. And then I slapped a bunch of trees and rocks around. And boom, our AAA quality map is finished. But there's a problem, you see. Since we're, in the sky, when you fall off, you kind of just fall forever. Let's just say I made a pretty logical solution to solve this problem. Finally, I implemented a respawn system so the game could go on forever. Now, the base game is actually finished, but we still need UIs. The good thing is, they were relatively easy to implement, so I won't be talking much about that. But something I will show you is the main menu screen. A normal person would look at this and say, this is a good main menu. But I am mentally insane, so I added a constant battle with extremely brain-dead AI that will completely fill your ears with gunshots. Now this is why I call it main menu. Great, this game is complete. I exported it and sent a very suspicious download link to my friend. And now let the first ever playtest of chaotic conflicts commence. Now get back here. Oh no!
You want to play with me?
Oh my god!
You should you should make a battle royale game.
I do not have 100 people on standby. Wait, let me test the range of the shotgun. Alright, my gaming video is done. I don't think I need to work on it anymore. It's not like this video is gonna magically blow up. How the hell did this happen? Oh, what's this? Oh, it's not that bad. What? My game right now is a complete disaster. It's glitchy as hell, the movement is quite basic, and the game feels terrible to play. Let's see if we can fix it. So I got quite a lot of bug reports since the last video. Most of them were minor bugs that I was able to fix within a day or two. But some of them were, really interesting. Wait, what? So the netcode for the weapon system is like trash. Like actual garbage. Basically, high ping equals weapon bad. Now, a shotgun that can rapid fire is cool and all, but it seems a little unbalanced. Just a little bit. I redid the weapon system, and that was basically all the major bugs. Well, the interesting ones at least. Now that I got all the bugs out the way, it's time to add a new feature. That's right. I'm gonna be adding sliding. Why? Because every single FPS game I've ever played has sliding. So why can't my game have it too? I started off by making a knee sliding animation for the player and tested it out in game. Why is he in the floor? This is not supposed to be happening. Okay, it looks correct now. Alright. Now, I really like how Apex does their sliding. And like any good game developer, I took inspiration. Yeah, and boom, sliding is in the game. Alright, for now, I'm just gonna upload this version. I didn't really test it, but I'm sure we'll be fine. What is even going on? Okay, so, the problem is, when the player dies, the camera remains in the same area, so it just pivots from that area. I changed a single variable and now it's fixed. I love being a game developer. Now, what is the difference between my game and Call of Duty? My game is terrible. That's right, objective. This game needs an objective. All you do in my game is run around and shoot people indefinitely. So I decided to make a basic free-for-all scoreboard system. Basically, the player with the most kills after 5 minutes wins. Seems simple to add, right? No, not at all. So first, I try to add a kill counter. You might think that all you have to do is whenever you kill a player, just add a point to your score. But replication messes all that crap up. I avoided talking about this in the first video, but I kinda have to explain it for this one. And to not waste your time, it's time to do some speedrunning. So basically, multiplayer works by having a client and a server. Let's say I want this point to appear for all clients on the scoreboard. I would have to send a signal to the server and have the server send a signal to every other client to show my kill count. And then I have to integrate this function into other functions, like making an action show up on the scoreboard. It's basically hell. That's the only way I can describe it. But anyhow, I got it working, surprisingly. But there's a problem, you see. This. So right now we can't really tell which player is which. So we need a username system. Now I just put this text box in the main menu, and if I apply the same logic and code for the kill system, this should work. It's been many hours, I wanna die, but it works now. And that's all that matters. And to finish things up, I added this timer to the top, and I also added a windscreen. Now that we have the scoreboard figured out, it's time for this game to live up to its name and be truly chaotic. Introducing random events. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! First, I need to come up with some. So I opened up a Google Doc and wrote down whatever came to mind. So, I came up with 5 of them. So first, we have a zombie apocalypse. Second, we have a low gravity. Third, we have a boss weapon. Fourth, we have 1 HP. And in 5th place, we have World War II artillery. Why? I don't know either. Every 60 seconds, it will randomly pick an event to happen. And yeah, that's how it's gonna work. So let's start off with the zombies. And for the zombie model, I took the player model and made him green. Because, Minecraft reference. I gave him animations from this animation pack I found a while back, and made them pathfind to the nearest player. And upon arriving to the player's location, the zombie will begin to attack the player. Alright, let's test this out in game. Here it comes. Ow, ow, ow. Now, moving on to low gravity. For this, we're gonna have to do some intense calculations. Now, we need to multiply our player's mass by... Just kidding, Unreal Engine is cool, and they did all that for me. Just change this value, and boom, you're on the moon. Crazy, isn't it? Onto the boss weapon. I wanted it to be some sort of LMG that does high damage and has a high fire rate. Since I'm pretty lazy and I'm bad at modeling, I just got the AK and made it longer, and I also gave it this really goofy looking drum mag. This will work for now. Now for this weapon's mechanics. So I took some inspiration from Stick Fight and made it so that the weapon would randomly spawn on the map. The weapon is marked with a skull icon, and once you pick it up, the icon transfers to you and turns red. And upon picking up this weapon, your health is also boosted. This, however, lasts for a short period of time. So once you have it, make sure to use it to its full potential. Also, I'm sure that this gun won't cause any balancing issues down the line or anything. For the 1 HP random event, I just made it so that the players have 1 health. That's it. Like, what did you expect? Last but not least, we have artillery. I found this free explosion particle effect in a guns pack I was already using for sounds. I made the explosion deal 100 damage to any player that is in its radius. And boom, artillery is now in the game. And it looks like this game is ready for playtesting. I sent the link to my friends, and we started playtesting. Oh!
You took like 3 shotgun shots to the... You just got double pumped. Did you see that movement thing? Fuck. Holy
I think this is peak gaming. No game gets better than... This is the best game.
Like an actual game dev. This is peak gaming.
I honestly do not know what I'm doing. Oh, frick.
Shit.
Yo, why are you getting up on me like that?
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta get that.
Boss?
I gotta get that.
What? What does that mean? We're not making it, bro.
You're not making it otherwise.
We're not making it.
So I got a few things from that playtest. The main thing is, these weapon models suck. Luckily, an expert 3D modeler appeared on my Discord server one day. So, I got all the models from him. Thank you very much. Go check out his Sketchfab and YouTube channel right here. He's also the new weapon designer for K.Dot Conflicts, so yeah. And now my weapons look awesome. Thank you. Anyhow, that's the end of this devlog. This game is out on GameJolt. And if you want to play in a public match, join this dedicated server right here. And if there's no one online, ask in our Discord server. Anyhow, that's all I have to tell you, so yeah, I'll see you guys later. Wait, I still need to find out what I'm gonna do for the next devlog though. Oh, I have an idea. It was a dark and stormy day. Well, that was a lie. It was actually really, really hot. I then sat down on my computer as usual. Not a care in the world. Man, I can't wait to work on my Steam game, Chaotic Conflicts, a online free-for-all multiplayer FPS game with random events that you can wishlist on Steam now. As I opened the project file, my eyes widened. My Steam game got corrupted. What was I gonna do now? All my hard work went down the drain. It's gone. Forever. Did I give up? No, I didn't. I didn't just get 50k views for nothing. That's right, I'm gonna be... So, it's time to start again. All the way from the beginning. But I had a plan. I'm gonna make this remake 10 times better than the original. So, let's get started. Now, one of the first things I did was give my player model fingers. This might seem a little weird, but I'm planning on adding reload animations. These block hands are way too big for any reload animations. So I had to turn them into fingers. You may remember me saying this a few videos ago. I suck at animating. Just look at this. Oh, this is really bad. Oh my. Well, I have good news. I actually improved as an animator. Here's my latest project. It's a massive improvement, but we'll get to that later. Now, I opened up the UE5 FPS template, and you already know the drill. Everything is absolute garbage. Now, since this is a remake and not a new game, I'm gonna be going over the changes I made instead of what I remade, because, you know, that'd be boring. The first change I made was to the HUD. I just made the HUD a lot cleaner and more professional than the old one. I also added dynamic crosshairs, so you know how accurate your weapons are. And even better, it wasn't even that time consuming. Speaking of doing things that are time consuming, I decided to completely change up the animation system in the game. Now, I really wanted to improve on the weapon bobbing, because the one in the last game just wasn't that good. It relied on a curve that just went up and down, just forever. So I took the original curve for the weapon bobbing and just modified it until I had a result like this. Now, I could explain to you how I got it, but the curve looks like this. and I failed every single math class. Now, another thing I wanted to add was proper reload animations, because in the other game, I don't think that really counts as a reload. So I took it upon myself to make new ones. I mean, animating isn't that hard. This should take me like, I don't know, about an hour. That did not take about an hour. It took 3 days. I had to go into each model, split a port, rig it, and animate it inside Unreal Engine. Very fun, but there was a problem with the shotgun reload. See, this shotgun is a pump action shotgun, which means you load a shell in, you shoot, and then you pump it out. The thing about that is, the more times you shoot, the more shells you gotta load it in. So I could animate a different animation for how many shells you shoot, or I could do it with code. Since I'm an amateur animator and hacker man level programmer, you can guess which one I chose. The system is really janky, and sometimes it loads an extra shell, but it's fine. It works. The final thing I did for the reload animations was sound design. I used basically free sounds and stuff I found around my house to make some noises. The AK sound effects were made with a telephone and a Nerf gun. The shooting, recoil, and everything else, those mechanics stayed the same, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anyhow, another thing I decided to completely change was the movement system. In the old game, we had walking, jumping, and sliding, which is really basic and boring. So I decided to add 3 more movement options: sprinting, wall running, and vaulting. It's basically Carlson, but you can press shift to run. I know, I'm very creative, and I really hope you guys enjoy these new features, because it took many consecutive real-life days. I am basically rotting away at my computer. So before this whole incident happened, we had this map that was basically a weird temple / Stonehenge design that was in the middle of a forest that was also floating. The original design was pretty dumb and weird, and being called dumb and weird isn't exactly a good thing. Trust me, I would know. I make videos on the internet instead of doing my homework. So I spent another few hours remaking the entire map, and just look at this. This is such a massive improvement. It's bigger, it has more verticality, it's just more fit for the player. Look at all the port core you can do on this map. You can do this, you can do that. Honestly, that's about it. The point is, it's a massive upgrade, and it's more fun. I also coded the spawn shield. This prevents other players from absolutely lasering you as soon as you spawn in, which was actually a big problem back in the old build. Now that we have the bare bones of the game finished, I think it's time for some testing. People don't understand how to use the new movement system. This means that we need to make a tutorial. So I put together a tutorial map and decided this would be a perfect time to put my full body trackers to use. I know they look like bombs, but trust me, they are full body trackers. They just were DIY'd by some random dude on eBay. You see, I recently got some full body trackers for my birthday in April. You can see how long this video took. Now, something you can do with these trackers is mocap. Basically, make animations, but without the animating. So I recorded a little sequence and added it to the game, and... what is my man's posture? The tutorial is in first person anyway, so they're not gonna notice. I took the animation and made a cutscene out of it, and yeah, the tutorial is done. Please play it before you play any part of this game. It's recommended, please do it. Also, we now have 2 new random events. That's right, 2 new random events. Besides that, not much changed. We still have bombs, an OP weapon, 1 HP, and low gravity. But you might notice there's one thing missing from the roster. I decided to remove the zombies. Since we have a new movement system, the zombies just can't keep up, and I just don't know how to program AI that can wall run and just all the other stuff the player can do. So goodbye zombies, you'll be greatly missed. We now have lava rising and fast fingers. Now, what is fast fingers? It basically removes weapon firing cooldown, basically making your fire rate faster than a machine gun. Just look at this. For the lava rising one, I just made this glowing box that rises off the ground and damages you every time you touch it. This pushes you to use the port core mechanic to its fullest and get to higher ground. If you have any ideas for random events, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm freaking out of ideas. Another change I made was to the main menu. Now, if you don't remember or you're just new here, here's what the old main menu looked like. I decided to change from a more grounded view to a bird's eye view, so you can see more of the chaos happening with the AIs. Speaking of the AI, I decided to recode them and make them not brain dead, because I also wanted a bot play mode so that if there's no one online, you can still play. For a good AI, apparently, you need to use this Blackboard manager or whatever it's called. Now, I don't know what this does. For my old AI, I just used blueprints. That's why they ended up so, like, stupid. But this looks relatively simple. I mean, it shouldn't take that long to learn. Many hours later, I have this AI. He's not very smart, but it's not brain dead at least. Let me go over how it works. The AI has 3 phases: roaming, searching, and shooting. The AI starts in roaming. It will randomly roam the map until it spots another enemy, aka you or another AI. This initiates the shooting phase. The AI will check if it has clear line of sight of you. If it does, they will start shooting at you and move in a random sequence in a small radius around its area. This makes it unpredictable and just better than just standing still and shooting at you. Once the line of sight is obstructed, it will go into hunt mode. This means it will chase the target until they see him, or they lose sight long enough for them to lose interest. And since I gave him the brain of a YouTube Shorts user, it's 4 seconds. Great, now AI is done. They're no longer brain dead, but they're just kind of stupid. Anyhow, here's the finished main menu. It looks way nicer than what we had before. I also changed up the settings menu. You can now customize more of your video options, and all option settings are organized under their respective tabs. Also now, you can host your own lobbies online. Yay! No more local hosting. Since I'm using Steam's online system, I can have people host their games and anyone from around the world can join them. I made this simple server browser, and yeah, it looks pretty basic, but I can change that later. I can finally stop spending $11 a month on the dedicated server. Thank you, Steam. Very cool. It might not seem like it, but this game took like 2 months. So please subscribe and wishlist this game on Steam. It shows that you support what I'm doing and helps me out a bit. And if you want to play this update, go download the demo on Steam. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye, I'm gonna sleep. So this is my FPS game. An arcade-like shooter that mainly focuses on chaos and having fun. Now, I've been developing this game for 7 months. And the last devlog I made on it was 4 months ago. So this video covers over half the development time of this game. And since I have to document everything, rest in peace my storage. Anyhow, we got stuff like new maps, new weapons, new game modes. So let's not waste any more time and get into it. Okay, let's start off with a little recap. Last devlog, my game got corrupted and I had to build everything from the ground up. At the end of that devlog, we had 1 map, 3 weapons, and a very basic game. Now we have a total of 6 maps, 10 weapons, and a ton of content. So let's go in order and start off with the new maps. So originally, we had this one very basic, very small map. One small issue, this map is boring. And that's coming from me, the creator of the game. It might be interesting the first time you play it, but like after the 5th round of the same map, you'd probably uninstall the game, leave a bad review, refund the game, and put me on some sort of hit list. Obviously, this is a bad thing, because I'm not getting any money, man. So to fix this, I added 5 additional maps. First up, we have Chaotic City, a very vertical map with many tall buildings. Now, to account for these absolute skyscrapers, I made these launch pads that help you get to any building you want to get to. Next up, Liminality, a close quarters backrooms map that serves as a more closed off map. There's not much to say about this map, it's literally just a backroom. Next up, the Floating Islands map. This map is very open and forces you to watch your step. I took a bit of inspiration from this map from Pixel Gun 3D. Anyhow, just be careful or else this will happen to you. Next up, we have the Testing Chamber, a pretty open map that takes place inside. This map is inspired by Portal, so yeah, that's cool. Last but not least, we have a map that takes place in a volcano. And like the Floating Islands, you need to watch your step or else you will just die. Now, I plan on adding a lot more maps, so if you want to stay updated on that, join my Discord server. You can hang out with some pretty cool people and stay up to date on the projects I work on. So yeah, join. So you might have noticed that the game looks a little different from the last time you've seen it. That's because I decided to stylize it. Now, what does this mean? Well, the act of stylizing something is to make it have style. Well, no, it's actually used to make games look unique and just overall not bland. For my game, all I did was add an outline shader and switch from dynamic lighting to baked lighting. And no, baked lighting does not mean that. Get that out of the... yeah, let's just move on from this stupid joke. I don't... All these style changes also made the game really optimized, because beforehand, it ran extremely poorly. I'm not sure how that happened, but I decided to go fix it. Now, after the stylization, it ran a bit better, but not to the standard I wanted it to be. So they had to sort through 7 months worth of code to find what was causing the game to lag so much. This took so long, but nevertheless, I got it done. Your GPU will no longer Now, let's get to the real interesting stuff. I think we can all agree that guns are great. Name one bad thing a gun. On second thought, maybe just don't do that. Just stop. Originally, we had 3 weapons. The pistol, the shotgun, and the AK. 3 guns isn't exactly a lot of guns. And you kind of want a lot of guns for an FPS game. Because, you know, it explains itself. I don't really need it. After a lot of work, we have 7 new guns. Thank you to Cyber for making all these for free. Without them, my guns would still look like absolute garbage. We now have a revolver, an SMG, a tactical assault rifle, a double barrel shotgun, a sniper, an RPG, and finally, a stick. All these guns are fully animated and fully coded. Remember when I told you that my gun system was modular and was easy to add new guns? Well, apparently the more guns I add, the longer they take to code. Look at this mess. Tell me exactly what's going on. But nevertheless, the new guns work just fine. Now, with all these new guns comes a new problem. So originally, you could switch through all the guns, because there were, only 3. And holding 7 guns might not make that much sense. Not that this game makes any sense anyways. So I removed this system altogether and replaced it with certain game modes. Now, what does this mean? So here, I'll just show you. At the beginning of each match, a random mode is picked. These modes determine how the game behaves and what weapons you get. Let me list them out for you. First off, we have economy. You start off with a pistol, and you have to get money by killing other players. You can buy more weapons from a buy menu by pressing B. Next up, we have randomizer, which gives you a random weapon anytime you kill someone. A very simple concept. Then we have explosive mayhem, where everybody has rocket launchers. Snipers only, which does exactly what you think it does. Shotguns only, which also does exactly what you think it does, and club combat. In this mode, you only have a baseball bat. A baseball bat? That's kinda boring. If you've ever played Hypixel Bed Wars, or have been messing around in Minecraft,
Hey, Mark, guess what?
you'll be familiar with a knockback stick. This bat is just that. It's definitely a very interesting weapon. I am planning on adding a lot more game modes, so leave your ideas in the comments, cause I might add them. Speaking of your ideas, last time I asked for some of your random events ideas, so let's go over them. Our first 2 requests are from Shiro Stokey. They suggested infinite ammo and only weapon rounds, which you can recall I already added. Infinite ammo is pretty easy to add, just keep refilling the player's ammo. The next one is from Ultra Mango, who suggested Explode on Death event. All I did was spawn an explosion every time the player dies, and you can do some very interesting stunts with this. Man, you guys leave really good comments. Let's see what else there is. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. No. Bring back zombies. Okay, an actual request. Which granted, zombies are back in the game. I also added a few of my own random events to the game, but I'll keep those a secret. You have to play the game to find out. Speaking of which, my game releases on December 7th, but you can actually play the game for free right now. But I'll tell you how at the end of the video. Okay, now it's time to go into the more technical side of things. I completely remade the multiplayer and lobby system. Why? So I got this plugin off the marketplace that was relatively cheap and had good reviews. So I opened it up, and that's when everything started becoming terrible. Learning all the functions and processes of this plugin took an actual week off my life. The documentation looks like this. How am I supposed to learn anything? Then they linked me to whatever this is. What am I supposed to do with this? I eventually got it working. It was fine. It might have taken a week, but that's fine. Plugin 5 out of 5 stars, would buy again. Then I created a new UI for a lobby system that allows you to see the players and select your starting map. And once you have your desired amount of people, you can start the game. Now, from what I noticed, this game is missing a lot of customization. Everything is chosen for you, which isn't exactly a good feeling. So I added a perk loadout system. Now, these just give you special abilities like regeneration, life steal, or just more speed. We have 4 perk slots. 3 of the slots are used for normal perks, and the last one is used for a special powerful perk. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go over all the perks. I have to release a video sometime in the next year, so yeah, play the game to find out. Now, our final feature. Drumroll please. A battle pass hats that are free. You can now customize your little red character to stand out. Now, I made quite the selection of hats, including some custom ones that only some of my friends have. You can now get blown to bits in style. Anyhow, that includes the over 100 days worth of updates I made. Here's some gameplay with my friends.
I kill, I'm lagging so bad. Yo, please my ping really quick.
Why do you
Do actually. Oh shit. I am.
Oh no, he's down. Oh, and I'm gone.
I'm still being Porsche. We take those.
There's no way. I'm not allowing this to happen. Let's go. Oh, no, please don't kill one more. Don't kill one. Oh, frick. Finally.
Give me that.
Oh, frick.
Are you alive? I hit you with a shotgun.
You can't get me. Freezer.
Wait, hold on, I was reading. Okay.
Oh, frick. Oh, no. You
Okay,
traded.
ping stabilized. No way.
I was 200. How did your ping keep going that? Oh! Nope, he's not dead. How did I just...
What the hell's Freezer?
Hey, man.
Huh?
Oh!
Hey, what's up? It didn't work again.
Oh, frick.
The floor is lava.
No! No, I'm dead.
I'm good.
So yeah, that concludes this video. If you like it, consider subscribing. The game is currently open for public playtesting, but only for 3 days, so be quick. Anyhow, game releases December 7th. That's all I wanted to tell you. Okay, bye!